All right, we are finishing up, or I rather continuing the Roar Lyrical Clarity reading. So, to catch up, if you are finding this directly on YouTube and not following it from another social media platform, this collective, you are roaring right now. Like literally, you are in this roar energy. You have been awakened to how the belief systems that you've been conformed or expected to adhere to and believe in have been cracked wide open. You are seeing yourself and the things around you and those belief systems so clearly to a point where you finally understand how the past has affected your present, how your mindset and your beliefs have held you back. But forgiving yourself for that, like seeing the why in it all, not just the understanding of okay, I have to hurt to grow, but like just you're seeing it really clear, like through a literally through like a magnifying glass, like really seeing the signs and everything, how everything kind of fits together. And just finally forgiving yourself for how you've let that hold you back, and not see yourself. But now that you have, like, roaring, right? This abundance, windfall, gifts, celebration, promotion, opportunity, successful ventures. It's like just taking that step of breaking open that belief system that you've held on to for so long and let hold you back. This collective right now, like I said, you'd be roaring, you'd be surrounded by abundance, by maybe not necessarily, not like rolling in riches, but like emotionally just feeling abundant, feeling fulfilled, just that like magic feeling, like nothing can stop you now. You're like a true gift. The gift is yourself, and a celebration of that, like it's incredible. Like literally, this collective is roaring with pride right now, and and part of this energy, just as a detail to connect to this reading, was part of whatever this awakening or what caused this awakening did have to do with a past. I feel a past romantic connection. I feel like there's someone here in this collective's life that served as a catalyst for awakening them. That by them kind of coming in with their offer, with this romance, with this attraction, romance, love, beauty, creative arts, wealth, harmony, attraction, and offer, just something that they have brought into your life that really made you reflect on the past, on your belief systems, and through that reflection is where you found that clarity, where you broke open that belief system, because whatever they are offering you, it's like you want it, right? You really wanted it, but wanting it went against everything you believed in. And so but wanting it so bad and feeling that in your soul that it's meant for you was strong enough to like literally break you out of your belief systems, to really see things and to forgive yourself for ever holding yourself back in that way. This is really exciting for me. I don't know what deck maybe I'm gonna get tarot. I've been going for my tarot deck a lot lately. I used to kind of really go for the oracle cards because I really love the oracle cards, but for some reason I've been really drawn to my tarot a lot. Okay. I want to know. I want to know more details about this. What really was the catalyst for breaking this collective open? So, what surrounded this collective to really open up, to awaken them? That's too many. Maybe I'm not meant to get tarot here for that. All right. That doesn't have. I mean, it's weird to me when I'm shuffling and nothing comes out. It's usually for me. It's like, okay, you're not in the right place right now. So let's I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go to this deck for. Actually, nope. Sorry. I want my color deck. This one has been so. I've been resonating with this deck so much lately that I feel it. I'm feeling it. All right. This collective, what is the perspective on the catalyst that kind of woke them up? What does the catalyst have to do with? Okay. Cleanse is facing up with space. I want one more. Death. Okay. All right. That actually kind of, okay. So it ties into the deviation I had of there being a catalyst, like a person, right? But I feel like them coming into your life and what they had to offer on its own, I don't think was enough. I think it awakened you to a point where like you started to question, because you would have been telling yourself like, no, this can't happen because I believe this, because these are my values, this is what I, have been told is right and wrong. Like there's just something where in the beginning, this collective, you would have tried to kind of talk yourself out of whatever this was because of your past. But through doing that, it's like every time you would tell yourself that, it's like every time you would try to do that comparison, every fiber of your being felt wrong. Like you knew you were trying to prove yourself wrong just to hold on to these beliefs, because there was just like, it was, because let's be real, your belief systems, what you've been conditioned to believe, or the expectations of others, what your family or friends or culture or religion expect of you, the conditioning through that, the conformity that comes with that, the long held beliefs. Awakening out of that is not, it really isn't as simple as just meeting someone and that all happens. It's because there's a lot of back and forth, there's a lot of denial, there's a lot of self-sabotage, there's a lot of, you fight yourself on it because it's something that's so ingrained in you that it's like you can't possibly believe that anything but that could be for you. You know what I mean? So I believe that this person, this romantic situation that entered your life, was the catalyst for all of this, for the ball to start rolling. Because before then, I don't think you would have ever had anyone that would have made you question those beliefs, because everything else would have just aligned because it's what was expected of you, right? This would be something that's so unexpected of you that you really, because it felt so right in you though, like that's what started the questioning in the expectations of you, in your beliefs. But it wasn't enough to fully cause the awakening. I feel like the awakening came with an ending. Because I wanted to know what the catalyst was for this. It came from an ending. It came from space. It came from a cleanse. So I'm going to read these, and I also want to get what the significance of the black cards are. Cleanse. Cleansing is a beautiful way to show love and appreciation for yourself, your belongings, and your space. It's wiping away the dust and grime to reveal the shine underneath, bringing a sense of calm, ease, and clarity. When this card comes up, ask yourself what could use a little extra cleansing. How can you give yourself or your space a little extra love. There's 2 mentions of space in here as like your space, right? Like you, not just your surroundings, but like your space inside you is how I see it. So this cleansing card, this catalyst was literally this ending with this person. I feel like, again, don't make it fit. Just a detail for this collective. You would have ended this because of your beliefs. And I feel like it's that ending that you realize it didn't stop the longing, it didn't stop the belief that you had in this connection, in this contradiction of your beliefs, right? It didn't stop that from going, it didn't make it go away. So what it did is it created this space that you now needed to fill with something that aligns with you, with beliefs that align with you and what you want. But it came through an ending. It came through having to let someone go, or them letting you go. Because if it wasn't progressing, because you were being held back by your conditioning, your expectations, your beliefs, there would have been nowhere to go, right? But an end. But through that ending, it's like losing that something that you in your heart and soul felt like belonged within your energy. That is a catalyst for an awakening, for sure. And I think what this cleansing is cleansing that belief system. It's cleansing those old beliefs, cleansing those past grievances and regrets and the suffering, right? The victim mentality, cleansing all that. Really, but you're forgiving yourself, right? You're cleansing that out. But this person is what was the catalyst for that cleansing, for that making that space to hold them, to hold yourself first, to hold yourself first. Let's get that straight. To make the space to hold you authentically first, and then have the space for them because they can see your authentic self now, or you can live it. All right, let me read the space card. You may feel alone and like you can get lost here, but it is important to remember that you can fill this space with new beliefs, new values, ones that really align with you. What is it you're looking to fill your life with? Ask yourself that, truly, right? That's what you need to fill your space with. Is it certain types of people? A new project? How can you take action towards your goal? The void is only a temporary space. It's ready to be filled with cleansing, right? You're cleaning out the old space to make room for the new. Did it have to come through an ending? Yes. But I feel like that's another part of what you're seeing now. Like, and you're able to forgive yourself for it because you know now that it wasn't you just being crazy and being punished. You were meant to grow from this, right? All right, the black cards. Black cards in a reading. In this deck, black is an invitation to step into a new phase of your life. When black cards come up in a reading, think of the intense opportunity that they bring, whether to create a space for newness or to cultivate courage. I think it's both for this collective. I'm going to be honest. I think there's just something where this is changing you in a foundational, fundamental way. So let's get into this person then. Let's see. This I'm going to go for this deck for. What is surrounding this collective's heart space right now in regards to this catalyst person where there's been an ending? What is surrounding your heart space about them right now? That one on the floor. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Okay. You're feeling a lot about this person, clearly. Let's see what fell on the floor here. Okay. Nourish. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. This person would nourish, I feel like they nourish your soul. You feel that. Self-growth, self-focus, soul-finding. I think they've encouraged that in you. They've awoken, like, they've been a catalyst to your awakening, right? So they've encouraged now not through any direct action, but just through their existence and the way they make you feel, they have encouraged this self-growth and self-focused soul finding in you. Confessions, conflict, rejection. Okay, yep, confirmation there. And intuition. Okay, yeah, huge confirmations here. So this collective, so this confession I'm feeling in two different ways. I'm feeling it as this coming clean, I feel like has to do with this collective, something that you, again, because of your belief systems you were holding back before, it's something you need to confess. So I feel like there is a confession here when it comes to you. But I also feel that this confession, when it comes to the person that is on your mind through this, that there was a confession, which ultimately, even through this nourishing feeling, because of the fear of your past and your belief systems, your expectations, this confession created a conflict and ultimately rejection, which is this ending right here. I do feel like both of you, like this rejection is felt both ways. And this conflict, I feel like this is just how you see this situation right now. You see it as a conflict because it hasn't been resolved. I feel like you're still in kind of a separation. You're seeing things clearly now, but it's like, where do I go next? Can I come back to that? You know what I mean? Can I actually still have that? And this intuition, I feel like for this to come out last, or for me to at least put it last, this inner knowing, this collective, like I said, you know now, you see things differently. You've seen the difference in your life that things have made just by accepting a change in your belief systems, accepting a change in what's expected of you, from yourself, right? And I feel like this heart song, telepathy, inner knowing, there's something like you just, like I said, when you're around them, you just feel it. It's like you feel like they're nourishing your soul. You feel that. Which makes sense to why it would have scared you so bad to have it come to an end, conflict and rejection. But it's like, that it's still, I feel like this collective, you kind of know it's still meant for more. All right, so I think you obviously still have belief in this connection. There's something that you feel that's like undone. But so I'm feeling like when it comes to this conflict and rejection, I'm going to be real. I feel like there's something in this collective where, because especially if you have this clarity, this awaken, this change in your belief systems, your expectation, your core, like your authenticity, and you've found a way to forgive yourself for it, to not sit in that victim mentality, to cleanse yourself of because I'm seeing this here too for this energy, through the truth, through the clarity, through being able to forgive yourself. It's cleansing you, you know what I mean? It's healing you, nourishing you, self-growth, soul finding. So I feel like there's something with this collective where, even though this has happened the way it has, there is still an inner knowing, a heart song with this person. Because like I said, if you're in this roar energy, like you're seeing yourself, you're in you're on another level of confidence right now. So it's like, while you definitely see and recognize and are still recognizing the pain, holding yourself accountable for everything, you still see that you think it's for a bigger purpose. I don't think this collective that you believe that the ending is the end right now. I think you're at this roar energy, right? Where you're like, shoot, now that I get everything, let me come back and take what's mine. You know what I mean? Let me get that. Oh, that's funny. All right, let me get what this person connected to you, how their perspective on the situation right now, what's surrounding their heart space when it comes to you in this connection. Oh, okay. The only one that is facing up is bitterness, resentment, anger, hurtful words. Uh, okay. So it just, again, this is just going to be a detail for this specific collective. Don't make it fit. Um, this person, I think right now would be showing you kind of this energy. That's just what they would be outwardly projecting to you. This bitterness, resentment, maybe being upset. Obviously that you rejected them, and maybe because I'm feeling this bitterness in a way, like maybe they're seeing you in this energy now, and kind of being like, oh, what does that mean for me? You know what I mean? Like maybe they're feeling a little resentment over you kind of glowing up, but not realizing that the part they played in that glow up, right? Um, but I think too they're still going over the hurtful words that you might have said to them, like giving the impression that this could never work, like this, you know what I mean? I just feel like what this feeling is just what they're presenting right now, like um they're trying to how they're trying to present themselves, like they're angry, like they're like they yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. But for the ones that were upside down, or flipped the other way, pain, broken. Pain says apprehensive, afraid, cautious, broken, shattered, heartbroken, destroyed, and then this karma, consequences, cause and effect. It's like while they're not showing, they don't want to show how broken and in pain they are, and how, but this karma, I feel like maybe they're kind of feeling that way right now. Like, is this a punishment? I feel like that's how they're seeing it right now, especially if they're kind of trying to present in this bitter, more like resentful attitude. They're hiding their pain, and the fact that they feel like this was all like a big lesson for them. Like, I think they are feeling like, oh my God, I went and fell for this person. They did this to me. And now they're off in the, roaring. And here I am. Like, I don't. So, just to a detail, again, don't make it fit. This collective, the person on your mind, I felt kind of a separation, right? With this rejection and this ending and this space. I feel like there is a space. But I feel like within this context, this person has no idea what you've been through, what you've been healing, what you've been realizing, and also no idea that it has anything to do with them. So they probably only see like what you might be, I don't know, posting on social media, or what they might hear from friends. It would be nothing, no solid proof of why you're acting the way you are, having no idea that any of it has to do with like you being excited to finally fix this. So they're in a place right now where they're just in pain and broken over it, and thinking they're being punished, like this is what they get for falling for you, right? Like that kind of energy. And like, look at them. Well, I'm not going to show them if they're in this energy, like they're seeing you glowing, right? Because let's be real, you deserve to feel that way. If you're coming through that kind of awakening, that feeling that you feel, completely justified. Feel the fuck out of that. Sorry. Feel that, right? You deserve that confidence, that feeling. But just understand, and not just isn't to take it away from you. Feel it, right? But from their perspective, they are seeing it as like you're just moving on, having a time of your life, don't even care about them being left here broken and in pain, and feeling like they got what they deserve for falling for you in the first place. Like, because you're at that point where you're just like you're seeing it, right? You're awakening, you're in that roar energy. You see, what you want to go and fix and work on and get to, but you're in that in between, right? So I feel like this reading is finding you because you're a collective who, while you're in this energy, I feel like you're unsure while you know you want this person and you feel like they are meant to be a part of your life in a way, the way that they've awoken you and the way that they made you feel and question things, and literally the way they nourish your very soul, you feel that, right? But they don't know you feel that. They don't know that's what's going through your head. They're still sitting in pain and broken and just feel like they're being punished for ever wanting you, and sitting in bitterness outwardly because you're glowing in your own light. But you should take that time because you need that, right? Um, but again, this is just to clarify what they're feeling right now. And again, maybe you wouldn't even know that. Maybe you would see the kind of bitterness and wonder, like, why are they being like that toward me? Like, I don't understand. Wouldn't they want? But I think it really is just because they are feeling like they're being punished and having to watch you be happy without them. Because I feel like for them to be broken and in pain, and feeling that way, like I guarantee they feel the same way about you, like that you nourish their soul. They're so confused as to why the ending even had to happen and why you could be so happy about it. Um, Damn. All right, I'm just trying to decide where I want to go next with this. I feel like I want to get universe's perspective. But I feel like I want to go with this deck. Hold on. All right. Universe's perspective on this connection. Okay. Longing and narcissist. Missing you, let's talk, reunion. Egotistical, opportunist, fragile. All right, this is surprising me because I definitely wasn't feeling. No, because for this to come out under universe's perspective. I need one more. I need more for this. The longing makes sense between the two of you, right? But the narcissist vibe, for universe's perspective, it's not making any sense. Legal, lawyers, court, paperwork. All right. For this to come up under universe's perspective, I'm feeling like it's a focus. This is very, very confusing. Let me try. I'm gonna grab tarot and see if this narcissist and hermit in reverse. And I hate when this legal card comes out because it's so ambiguous. Like, lawyers, court, and paperwork for legal. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm thrown right now with this for being universe's perspective and narcissist and legal to come out. And with the hermit in reverse for me is like the opposite of what I feel like you're doing. It's like refusing to go within, not taking that time to reflect, to learn, to see the bigger picture, to see within yourself, to all right. I gotta be honest, because this is so or contradictory to what is already here. For this to be the universe's perspective, I feel like it's actually telling me what you've. I think it's excuse me. I think it's a detail to try and help, because the universe knows I love details and I love to connect people to the readings because we don't make it fit, right? I feel like this is meant to connect this collective. Um, the universe saying that whoever this is connected to, this is what you've been overcoming. You've been overcoming this lack of healing, this lack of accountability, because you did get this victim mentality up here, right? So it's like, I feel like this is showing the universe's perspective of things that you have overcome as a person. This longing for things that you can't have, or maybe in the past you have longed for people who were more with like this kind of trait, like narcissists, and that's part of what you're reflecting on and what you've had to overcome to realize how wanting all of that has never served you, and why this person coming along as they are, why it confused you so much and threw you for a loop, right? Because it was so much opposite of what you were used to. And this legal court paperwork, I'm really confused with this legal. What is this legal? Okay. Oh. Okay. I know this is so very unconventional, but for some reason, this legal card, this lawyer's court paperwork, it's giving me a very like the law, right? When I think of legal, I think the law. And then when I think of when that thought pattern is leading me to like the belief system, your expectations, like the law of your land, right? And then for this to come out to confirm it, I feel like it's a lack of belief in yourself and your what you can accomplish and how you can see things beyond what they are. Um, there's a doubt in that area because of your old, like the law of your land, your old beliefs and expectations that affects literally like the Seven of Wands. This person, she is very much in her bubble, not letting the external things poke holes in her bubble and what she believes. Um, so I think this is showing how you have overcome that. You've overcome that doubt in your own beliefs, in the law of your land. I'm really feeling like this perspective from the universe is further clarifying what you've been through to tie you to this reading, to show what you've had to overcome. You've had to overcome the longing for not just someone who you tried to deny a longing for, but for people who didn't serve you, your authenticity, who were saw you as an opportunity or saw you as fragile, like this narcissist vibe. That's like, I feel like you would have been attracted to people like that before in the past because of your expectations of how things should have been, right? And this law of your land, and but you've overcome it. It's this the refusal to go within and really look and reevaluate. You've overcome all of that. You've overcome that fear of not trusting what you really see to stand in your own power. So again, which I okay, it confused me at first, But with this being the base energy, this roar energy, this actually makes sense to further just clarify, like I said, what you've had to overcome. Because I think this collective, you're, like I said, you're in that in between right now. I think where you're in that glow up energy because you've awakened, you're seeing things now, you're having to appreciate what you've had to overcome. But in the back of your mind, you've still got this, this person on your mind. But I think this is really a call. You have to realize what you've had to overcome to give you that confidence to come back through to this person and be like, hey, this is what I was just dealing with. This is what I had to overcome. But you helped me do it. Like, you know what I mean? There's just something where I think recognizing this energy is important to your roar energy, to getting you to where you are. All right, I just want to get I'm curious. I want to get an outcome for the person you're connected with. Or steps towards fixing that. Because I feel like that's what you're more focused on right now, to be honest. Even though you're in that roar energy, I feel like you're still wondering, like, okay, well, what do I do next? Distance, timeout. Okay, retreat, blocked, emotional or physical distance. So, okay, confirmation about the separation, the ending, the rejection. But for this to come out as like next step, next focus, outcome kind of thing, distance, timeout. Maybe this is a time for you to stay in that glowing energy, to do more reflecting, to really, maybe they need to go through their healing part too. If you've gone through yours, maybe there's things, especially if they're presenting with bitterness instead of, being happy about you being like glowing up. Maybe there's something about distance needing to remain for a while for there to be not just more time for you to have your time, but for them to kind of get through their thing too. Because healing is not a one-way, thing. It takes two, right? So I feel like there's maybe something where you're being called to keep the distance for now, to continue the healing. Oh, okay. Okay, got it. That worked out perfectly. All right. So yes, right now you're being called for a timeout to keep the distance. And when I see this card, I see this Hermit card. Look, the stairways on both these cards. So I feel like you're being called to maybe you felt like you were kind of done reflecting, but I don't think you are. I'm just going to be real. Great energy. You're feeling like you're on top of the world right now because you activated, right? You awoke. But that doesn't mean you're done healing. It doesn't mean you're done doing the work. It just means you're aware of it now. You can see it. You can, you see it differently. You can forgive yourself for what you've been through. It's just a whole new perspective, right? So I think right now, even with the new perspective, there's a need for a distance, a timeout with this, because there's still some reflecting. There's still some healing on both sides. But ultimately, for this to be next steps and outcome, you got union, soulmate energy, decisions, a proposal, integration of yin and yang energy. So there just has to be a little bit more time for more reflection, more balance, more just time for integration, right? But then you got summer as a timing card. Activity, goals, progress, life force energy, new patterns. So for this collective, I think that you're being called to still focus on these things, right? To continue to cleanse and clear them and understand them, to stay in that roaring energy, like that confidence that you found in yourself to even do this through this person's existence, I guess, what they've inspired in you. Stay with that energy, right? let it push you forward. Let it continue to heal through the things that you have to heal through and accept and see. Let that healing that you do trickle back, especially since you got soulmate energy. Let that healing energy that you do for yourself trickle back to them so they can get out of this bitter outlook of things and they can change their perspective too, right? I think there has to be a flip from both of you. But it will come through the distance and the kind of like putting yourselves in timeout, okay? Focusing on you. Focusing on you. You'll get that union, and I feel like this is a sign that summertime is when this is on the table. If you can stay on this roaring path that you're on and really put a focus on the past suffering, right? The past pain, this crap that you've had to kind of overcome and see differently. You can see it now, right? So now work on healing it. Because like I said, healing is not an overnight thing. It's not like you wake up, you realize it, and it's gone. It takes work, right? So there's something with this collective. You need to stay on your path of roaring your way through life right now. Really, like finding that lion strength and pushing forward, focusing on you, on the ways you can continue to heal and cleanse and basically reevaluate your beliefs and values. And I feel like doing that will bring something good for you, a union in the summertime. It's weird. I usually don't like to give like timing cards when it comes to things like that, but I'm not going to argue with the universe. So for the right collective, staying on this path will give you that union that you, I think, have been wanting, that you know, that intuition, you know, is your heart song, like you know it's your person. I think you'll get that union in the summertime once this has, again, free will can change anything and everything. So if you start chasing this person or falling back into old ways or going backwards, this is gone, right? It not gone, but prolonged. It's not going to be summer anymore. It's going to, you know what I mean? You're going to prolong it. So I think right now maybe you're being tempted right now because of the energy you're in to reach out to this person and kind of like spill all this onto them, explain like what you've been through, how you've don't do that. I think that's where you're being called to not do that. So this is why it's finding you distance, time out to get to that union in the summertime. If you can stay on this path of focusing on you, staying in that roar energy, right? But putting that focus on you rather than trying to show them the change right now. I feel like there's something with this bitterness card facing up. I just feel like, and especially with this karma too now, I'm thinking there's something that they are kind of realizing that they still have to deal with. And in order for them to deal with that, I think they have to be in their own hermit energy, this distance, right? I think that's why it reminded me of this. They need to be in their own hermit energy right now. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave this reading at. So my advice for this collective is just really, I say this a lot in so many of my readings, I know, but really put the focus on you, especially in that energy. Let that light shine through self-love and let them find their way by seeing your light, right? Let them be that light that they see, that they can go towards, right? But be in the distant. Let them find you, right, at this point. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave this. I hope this has helped out some way, and I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day.